Live. I am Nature Guy X46, your host for the evening, and this is my platform. Tonight we have a special live. We are doing the Red Wolf. We're gonna briefly talk about the animal. We're gonna jump into why it's endangered. From there, we'll go into what zoos have this animal, and then we'll talk about what is being done to save it and what you can do to save it. Hey, Carol, that's weird. It shows there's nobody here. And I am going to need my handy dandy little YouTube live thing open on YouTube. So give me a second. Because I have to switch accounts so that I can lay out some stuff for you. And hopefully on this one, I'm able to do it. Because I don't know if I set it up to do it. So I guess we shall see. Right? Right. Okay. So that is set up. Yay. I got one more thing. I got to switch. If nobody else shows up before we're done, we'll just call it an evening. So, a little bit about the species. And this is actually one that I can actually pronounce the scientific name for, so we're good on that. Hello, whoever just came in. Tonight we're talking about the red wolf. So, just so you know a little bit about this species, I'm briefly going to discuss this animal with you. Its scientific name is Canis rufus. It is somewhere between the size of a wolf, a gray wolf, and a coyote. It is 4 feet long, 26 inches at the shoulder, males reaching 60 pounds in size. So overall, an in-between animal. They used to range from southeast Texas all the way out to central Pennsylvania. So they had a fairly good range. Today, though, they can only be found in North Carolina's. This is where I'm gonna have trouble. Wouldn't you know it? Control C. Guys, I promise I don't bite. If you want to chat, feel free to chat. So they are only found in this little peninsula that I just put on the screen in North Carolina. Now they feed on smaller mammals with a mix of red-tailed deer thrown in. They do mate for life, and a pack is going to contain somewhere between 5 to 8 individuals. Now, this animal is critically endangered. Population trend is not good. It is for more decreasing. Number of mature individuals is between 20 to 30 individuals in the wild. That number could be higher or lower depending upon the actual numbers. Major threats to this animal now include habitat loss and interbreeding with coyotes. Remember, anything that is within the genus is fair game to a degree. So yeah, but moving on. This interbreeding is hurting the animal's genetic diversity, which is a big deal. At one time, hunting was a major problem for this species because, let's face it, if you're a farmer and you have animals, you don't want this animal getting into your livestock. Vehicle strikes are also a leading cause of death for this animal, as well as something you probably aren't thinking a lot of right now, but I guarantee you, eventually in the future, you will be. Raising sea levels also endanger this animal, as the peninsula in which it lives rests just 3 feet above sea level. Carol, I don't know if there's issues or if you're just listening. Unlike the Bengal tiger, the red wolf is home to at least 20 AZA zoos. These are just some of them. Yeah, I'm not going to try pronouncing it. They can be found in the North Carolina Zoo, the Lincoln Park Zoo, the Beardsley Zoo in Connecticut, Zoo Tampa, the Rosamond Gifford Zoo in New York, the Trevor Zoo in New York, the Endangered Wolf Center, and the Western North Carolina Nature Center in North Carolina. There are at least 241 red wolves in AZA zoos. I could not find anything about these animals being in zoos in Europe. If you're learning something from this live that you did not know before, go ahead, give it a like. I'm waiting. What is being done to save this animal? Fair question. Red wolves were added to the endangered species list in 1973. In that same year, the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium started a breeding program for their red wolves. It should be noted that the wild red wolves were captured and placed in captivity with the idea of setting up breeding programs. In 1987, red wolves were reintroduced to North Carolina's Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That means higher than maybe what I said. Then something happened that hadn't happened in a few years, but in 2022, we had our first red wolves born in the wild. Here are some births of red wolves from some zoos in the United States. In April 2024, 4 males and I didn't get the number of females. Wow, that's weird. Were born first in the first successful breeding at the Museum of Life and Science in 5 years. The Endangered Wolf Center and Arkin Zoo had 4 pups born. The Point Defiance Zoo in May of 2022 had 5 pups. You can check out more births, successes, and failures at the following link, which I will post right now as soon as I can get it. Let's see if I can do this. Will it let me? It let me. So that link will give you way more information as far as births and successes and failures. Maybe they've had an animal that got hit by a car. It's going to be listed on that site. What can you do to help the red wolf. You can learn more by visiting. So I'm going to give you another link. Aren't you just lucky people? This is a link that will also give you more information. It is a PDF, so it may download. I have not checked it out completely. Visit red wolves at your local zoo. Remember, when you visit a zoo in your area, the money that you spend goes towards conservation projects, which could impact the red wolf. So visit. Be their voice. Don't let me be the only person talking about this animal, because the more you talk about it, the more other people are going to hear about it. If you find yourself in North Carolina's peninsula that I talked about earlier, drive carefully, because someone else's lives are at risk if you're speeding and not watching the speed limit. Carol, by the way, thank you for that fact. Keep the wild like it was. If you're visiting the wild, don't make a mess of it. Leave the environment clean. So these are things that need to get done. We need to get their numbers back up to levels that are healthy. Do our best to reduce the odds of interbreeding with coyotes, which honestly may be impossible, but I think they're attempting it. We need to get these animals into the wild in other locations, not just in North Carolina. Sadly, the red wolf is a predator and probably is not going to be met with a lot of niceness by some people, because we still have people who unfortunately do shoot these animals. But maybe there is hope. Maybe. So, questions, comments? There are 2 really cool links that have been posted about the animal that you can check out. Gonna try doing this every once in a while, at least when this channel, don't know about the other channel as much. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Remember, you can ask questions even after this live is posted. Hopefully you are checking it out and learning from it. Yeah, that is actually the end of my material. Usually we're on my other channel, and my numbers are a little bit better. The thumbnail for today's live comes from animals that were at are at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Don't know, it had its back to me, but this was the best picture I could get of it, unfortunately. What is coming up next? I don't know, so we're going to take a look. We are looking at carnivores in my collection from North and South America. We only have, I think, 4 Thursdays in January. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, whoops, I'm using the wrong color. That's okay. We'll switch it up right now. Ooh, I lied. We have 5 Thursdays this month. Some of you may get excited. I don't know. We'll see. We have January 2nd. Carnivores in my collection from North and South America. January 9th. Conservation success story, Olive Ridley sea turtle. Guys, those are really good lives. If you've missed any, definitely check out the first one we did on the bald eagle, which I thought was a really good live. And then we have African predators in my collection on the 16th. January 23rd, we are doing Asian herbivores in my collection. And then we're going to talk about animals of the Arctic. And I think that is from my collection. But we will talk about other animals as well. Yes, we will. So that is what is coming up. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, or your Hanukkah is going amazingly. I did mess up on my other channel and did not recognize other holidays such as Kwanzaa. My bad. I do seek your forgiveness on that. We have such an amazing world around us, and we are just the stewards. So, yeah, we have some work to do. And when I say we, I mean collectively, us, not just me, not just the zoos, not just scientists, but us. It is important that you learn as much as you can, and that you do speak out if necessary to do the right thing when it comes to our brothers and sisters that that walk around on 4 legs or 2 legs or have wings or have fins. Yes. And I call them brothers and sisters because they have spirits just like we do. So, yeah. And no, before you ask, I am not vegetarian. Everybody is quiet tonight. How many people are actually watching this live right now? I don't know because I can't see. I do have 195 subscribers. I don't know if that's gone up or down. That's true, they did. Brothers or sisters. And I think that is a tradition we need to continue. So I do, if you really enjoy these lives, let me know. On the other channel, we have some really cool stuff coming up on there as well. January on the other channel is a little bit busier because we go live a little bit more frequently on that channel than we do on this one, which is why it's even more important on this channel. Probably going to go live at least once on this channel next week. This Friday, we have the history of carols at 7 p.m. Saturday at 6 p.m. we are doing Northern Cardinal at 6 p.m. On Tuesday, we are doing, yes, I'm going live on New Year's Eve. Probably going to do it earlier because I don't want to mess up people's celebrations. It is Dragons, a myth based on fact. January 3rd, we are doing Exploring Nature River Otters. January 4th, Learn to Care, brown bears. January 7th, Extinct Animals, Pinta, giant tortoise, and the mountain mist frog. So, yes, lots of stuff going on. Very important, we also have a subscriber-only event that will be taking place on the other channel. It is going to be, if I can find it, an organism picture guessing game, subscriber only, January 18th. Believe that is 6 p.m. So that is what's coming up. If you have questions or comments about anything I've talked about tonight, now is the time to put it out there. Otherwise, you're too late to, you'll be too late and you won't get your answer or your comment posted or answered for that matter. I think we would be a little bit better off if we took some of the Native American beliefs when it comes to nature and use that as a guideline for how we interact with nature. I don't think we need to necessarily be hunters and gatherers necessarily, but I do think we need to treat the wild a little bit better than we do. And a lot of places, yes. Well, yeah, I mean, based on what we know, yes. I think they knew that if they misused, it was going to be gone. Now, in some places, we know that we hunted some animals to extinction. We aren't always perfect, and we do sometimes mess things up. But we try to learn from our mistakes, and hopefully, unfortunately, that has meant that sometimes animals have vanished. Plants have vanished. But what's scary is when those animals vanish and they might have been part of a puzzle to save somebody's life. Plant or animal. Though I think in most cases, most of those animals are venomous. It happened again. The more I talk, the more I yawn. Ugh. Yeah, that's true. The buffalo is a wonderful example of that. But also, I think they pretty much had to. You didn't have much of a choice. If you wanted to live, you had to find a way to make it work. Um, I'm going to leave it at they were people that wanted to survive. And if you misuse what is there, if you misuse what is there, you're going to end up in bad shape. It's like if you go out, thank you, if you go out and you chop down all the oak trees, and that's how you were getting your acorns to make flour, that's an issue. If you go out and you kill all of the deer in your area, that's an issue. I mean, granted, there's still other animals that you could hunt, but if you're getting your clothes from their hides, again, that's an issue. So taking care of nature is better than the alternative. Nowadays, we're finding out that Mother Nature holds a ton of secrets, but you have to go looking for those. You have to go looking for it. It's not just gonna magically, a plant or an animal is not magically going to tell you, oh, by the way, I can cure breast cancer, or I can be used to light up cancer cells. Doesn't happen automatically. Not at all. Anyway, guys, it is 7:30. Carol, I think. Carol, how many people does it? There's 4 people watching. It says. Those of you that are watching, if there is a icon in the upper right corner of your screen that says something about open an app, if you click on that, you'll be able to chat. If there is a topic that you want me to cover, let me know. This channel deals a lot more with the conservation end of things, but that's okay. I think we have a night of trivia in February for this channel, I think. I can't, that's the problem. I can't see your questions. So I don't know if you have any. That stinks. So just to bring this full circle, the items that I put up are to the links that I provided are basically more information on the subject that we covered tonight. We talked about the maned wolf, the red wolf. Why it's endangered, what we can do to protect it. Yeah, so if you're watching this later, watch the whole entire live, because who knows what cool stuff you might learn. I am going to call it now. Yep, I am going to go. Have a great evening. Be safe out there, everybody. And with that, I will talk to you later. Good night.